Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. We continue reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila, chapter 5. We are on text 88. E Mata Gita Teha Puna Puna Kaya Sarvada Ishvara Tattva Achintya Shakti Haya. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thus, the Bhagavad Gita also states again and again that the Absolute Truth always possesses inconceivable power. Absolute Truth has inconceivable power. We think the Absolute Truth has power according to what we can think of, according to our mind or according to our thought process, But no, Absolute Truth has inconceivable power because He's the absolute platform. And our mind can only go up to the limits of material. It cannot break the barrier of material into the spiritual. And so we have to hear. So hearing from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is saying absolute truth has inconceivable power. Amita jagate vasi jagat amate. Na ami jagate vasi na atma jagate. Lord Krishna said, I am situated in the material world and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. So yeah, this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. I am situated in the material world and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. So purport. Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. So why everything is the way it is? Why? Who is the one who is behind it all? It is the Supreme Lord Himself. It is His will. It's His will. Why the whole material energy is working in the way it is working? Why the spiritual worlds are the way it is? Why the living entities are the way we are? Why? Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. So it's the will of the Supreme Lord. The entire manifested creation is therefore resting on the energy of the Lord. But one should not therefore presume that the material manifestation is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this entire cosmic manifestation that we see created the material world as we are able to see it. It is Krishna's energy. She is Krishna's energy, the material energy. But we should not think that, oh, this material energy is the same as the Supreme Lord, that she is the Supreme Lord. No, she is Krishna's energy. She's not the Supreme Lord. So a cloud may rest in the sky, but that does not mean that the sky and the cloud are one and the same. So yeah, so we are seeing so many clouds in the sky, but the cloud is different and the sky is different. Similarly, this entire material energy, she is different and the Supreme Lord is different. So similarly, the qualitative material nature and its products are never identical with the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is the Supreme Lord and the material energy is His energy. The tendency to lord it over material nature or Maya cannot be a feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When He descends to the material world, He maintains His transcendental nature unaffected by the material qualities. So, this material nature, which is comprising of goodness, passion, ignorance, which is comprising of earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, everything belongs to Krishna. So, He does not have this desire to come under goodness, passion, ignorance. He doesn't need to. He's not under the goodness, passion, and ignorance. He is situated in his own internal spiritual potency. It's like the cloud cannot cover the sun. The cloud cannot cover the sun. The sun is too big. Although the cloud is one of the energy of the sun, it's produced. Why? Because the water got evaporated from the ocean and it became the cloud. So the sun created the cloud, but the cloud cannot cover the sun. So when Krishna comes to the material world, he comes by his internal potency. His form is transcendental. His activities are transcendental. His name is transcendental. Both the spiritual and material worlds, he's always the controller of all energies. So he's the controller, whether here in the material world or in the spiritual world. The uncontaminated spiritual nature always exists within him. The Lord appears and disappears in the material world in different features for his pastimes. Yet he is the origin of all cosmic manifestations. So we see sometimes he comes as Lord Varahadev, sometimes he's come as Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, sometimes as Lord Nishingadev or Lord Ramachandra. His appearance day is coming soon. Each time he comes, he's coming in his transcendental form by his internal energy. He does not take the qualities of goodness, passion, ignorance. He does not take a material body made up of matter. No, he just performs his transcendental activities to attract our hearts, to inform us, hey, you're not the body, you're the soul. Right now you're thinking you're the body. You have an eternal life in the Vaikuntha planets. Come back, come back. Like a preview of a movie. The material manifestation cannot exist separate from the Supreme Lord. Yet, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in spite of his connection with the material nature, cannot be subordinate to nature's influence. So he's the one who creates these things, the elements, earth, water, air, fire. Everything is created by him. Everything, but he's not dependent on them. He's the one who's creating it. That's what we have to understand. So he's creating. So how will he get influenced by it? No, she listens to him. That's why he says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. This material nature, she's working under my direction. Who is this universal energy working under? She's working under the direction of Krishna. He says it himself in the Bhagavad Gita. And all the Vedic scriptures say it. His original form of eternal bliss and knowledge is never subordinate to the three qualities of material nature. So Krishna's form, no matter whichever incarnation he comes in, his form is always a Sat Chit Ananda. It is not made up of this earth, water, air, fire. No. And his form is never subject to goodness, passion, and ignorance. This is a specific feature of the Supreme Lord's inconceivable potencies. So we just to give a tiny example is the prison is there, the prisoners are there, but the president can come and go as he likes. When he comes into the prison, it's not that the president has become a prisoner. No, he was not forced to come to the prison as the other prisoners are. And the laws of the prison does not apply to him. He just came out of his goodwill to speak to the prisoners, to see if anyone is, rectified or would like to rectify themselves so they can come back to the mainstream society. But if the prisoners start thinking, hey, you're president, you are inside the prison, means you are a prisoner also, then that is the foolishness on the part of the prisoner. And he is not able to take advantage of the good fortune that he could have. Or if he can recognize, this is the president, he's here right now, let me ask him for pardon so he can get me out of this prison. I don't need to be in the prison anymore. Instead of doing that, if the prisoner keeps saying, no, 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 you are also prisoner like me, then he's wasting an opportunity which he's getting to get out of the prison. So this is a point we need to understand so that we don't waste the opportunity we have been given in this human form of life. Text 90, Achintya Aishwarya E Janiha Amar Eta Gitara Artha Kaila Prachar. Oh Arjuna, you should know this as my inconceivable opulence. This is the meaning propagated by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, this is my inconceivable opulence. My inconceivable opulence means if by our material mind we try to understand the spiritual, we won't be able to understand it. So all inconceivable things find their all inconceivable things find their shelter in Krishna. When we just understand, yes, Krishna has inconceivable energies. And why can't he have them? He's the Supreme Lord. What is the meaning of being the Supreme Lord otherwise if he does not have supreme inconceivable energies? He has them. This is what we have to understand. Inconceivable means with our material mind, we are not able to understand, oh, how can it be? But then we have to try to understand, why cannot it be? Why should God fit into my box of my material thinking or my material imagination? God is beyond that, he's spiritual. So I can't put a mold for God that he should be like this or he shouldn't be like that, then that's just my belief. It's not the truth. So text 91, Seta Purusha Yanra Amsha Dhare Nama Chaitanya Sange Se Nityananda Rama. That Mahapurush, Karana Dakshai Vishnu, is known as a plenary part of him, who is Lord Nityananda Balaram, the favorite associate of Lord Chaitanya. So now we heard how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he's telling us all this wonderful, wonderful material world, spiritual world. He explained us though everything, that how Sankarshan was maintaining the spiritual worlds and that he is a plenary portion of Balaramji, who's Nityananda Ram is Balaramji himself. Then he explained how this material world is being come about by Mahapurush, Karna Dakshai Vishnu. And who's he? He's a plenary part of Balaramji, who's Nityananda himself. So trying to explain to us the supermost position of Lord Nityananda. And he is a personal associate of Lord Chaitanya. Etan Navama Shlokera Artha Vivarna Dashama Shlokera Artha Shunadiyamana. I have thus explained the 9th verse, and now I shall explain the 10th. Please listen with rapt attention. So we'll get into this verse tomorrow. It's a bit longer. Any questions or comments?
They are still explaining about the Nityananda Prabhu, right?
Yeah, this whole chapter is
about the Nityananda only, right?
To help us understand the position of Lord Nityananda, that he's not an ordinary person, because we see him singing and dancing and begging others to chant the holy name. We might mistake him to be like, disregard his position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita Ki Jai, Shri Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakti Ki Jai, Hare Krishna.